chest now. When all this began, there was a curtain between me and the gray, and I'd have to go through it. Now I just let go, and the gray wells up around me. But the feeling of it starts at the knot of gray stuff that had been rammed into my chest way back at the beginning. The gray power grid snapped into view. Bright, hot lines limning the dark world in neon. The ghost in front of me was just a hazy mess afloat in a blazing wireframe world. I'd sunk a bit too far too fast. I concentrated on it, and the world became an icy overlap of misty images on top of images. Time and place stacked on each other like overlapping film projections. It was noisy with whispering and clanging that had nothing to do with anything I could see, and cold that stank, suddenly, of disinfectant over persistent mold and old death. In this mist world, I found myself face to face with a black man in his late 60s or so. He was well dressed in a suit he'd probably bought at Nordstrom and worn often to some office job. His residual concept of himself, complete with a memory of aftershave. He was a little stooped at the shoulder, but was still a tall guy. "Hi," I said. He blinked at me and looked me over as if I were the ethereal one.
"They killed me."
"So you said. How about you come all the way in and sit down, and you can tell me why I should give a damn." He didn't move.
"You're certainly rude enough for the job, young woman."
At least he'd gotten off his loop, though the tenor of the comment could have been nicer. I took half a step back before trudging across the misty floor to sit down in the gleaming shape of my desk chair. "I'm the only game in town, so get to it or go away." In the gray overlap of the room's past and present, ghosts of long-gone furniture stood among the shadows of the current stuff, some sticking out of the living fog of the walls, and no more substantial than my potential client. He finally came in and seated himself in one of the missing chairs, a Scandinavian memory from some late 80s incarnation of my office space. But then he stopped. At that speed, it was a miracle he'd gotten to me at all. I had to lean over the desk and poke him, literally, to get his attention again.
"They killed—"
"Yes," I interrupted, nodding. "Okay. What's your name?"
"Francis DeFayette Parker."
"And you believe you were murdered?"
"My family killed me like a dog in the pound."
You can't count on ghosts to tell the truth, or even to know what it is. Death doesn't impart wisdom. Or common sense. "Who in particular?" I asked. "Which of your dearly beloved did the dirty deed?"
"They killed me."
I sighed. "And what do you expect me to do about it?"
"Stop it!"
I leaned forward and braced my arms on the unseen surface of my desk. I was tired already. "Bit late, Mr. Parker. You're dead." He glared through me.
"They killed me! They killed me! Stop it!"
Damn, damn, damn. Looping again. I was tempted to hit him, but it's not easy to smack someone who's only sort of there. I get lucky sometimes, but it's not a sure thing, and touching ghosts isn't pleasant. The dead press into me as much as I into them, and they bring along whatever emotional and physical turmoils they're still carrying around. And the dead part is just nasty. Attempting to be both alive and dead at the same time is life and sanity threatening. This wouldn't be a problem if every even remotely conscious dead and undead thing west of the Cascades didn't drift in and play hob with my life whenever the fancy took them. Plenty of live ones have a go, too. I watched Francis Parker chant for a moment. He was a wreck for a ghost. Short trigger radius, short loop, low energy. He seemed to have retained his intelligence, but only by some on-again, off-again act of will. Must have been hell, like being a paralysis victim who retained a fine mind, but could only blink to express it. That decided me.